Learn English through story.
Hikayelerle İngilizce öğrenin.
After the snap. Elena Ruiz liked being prepared. She kept her school papers in neat folders, arrived early for class, and wrote every assignment in a small blue planner. She usually checked every answer twice before turning in a test. Mistakes made her nervous. Even a small one could stay in her mind all day. Because Elena earned good grades, most people thought school was easy for her. They did not see how hard she worked to avoid being wrong. In October, her engineering teacher, Mr. Bell, announced a new project. He asked each group to design and build a small bridge from wooden craft sticks and glue. The bridges would be tested in class. The strongest ones would be displayed at the school's family STEM night. Elena's partner was Marcus Lee. Marcus often forgot pencils, but he was full of ideas. On the first day, he filled a page with bridge designs. "We should use triangles under the road," he said. Triangles spread the weight. Elena looked at the clock. They had only 8 class periods to finish. Marcus's design seemed complicated, so she chose a simpler one. "We need something we can build quickly," she said. "We do not have enough time to start over." Marcus was not sure, but he agreed. Elena measured every stick while Marcus glued them together. After 2 days, the sides of the bridge were almost complete. Then Marcus suggested testing one side with a few heavy books. "What if it breaks?" Elena asked. "That's why we should test it now," he replied. "Then we can change the design." Elena shook her head. She did not want to damage their clean, straight work. "Let's finish it first." The day before the official test, Marcus left school early for a dentist appointment. Elena stayed after class to attach the final pieces. As she lifted the bridge, she heard a soft crack. One of the supports had split near the center. Her stomach tightened. She imagined telling Marcus and Mr. Bell. She imagined the project being late. Most of all, she imagined everyone watching her make a mistake. Elena covered the split with extra glue. For a few minutes, she held the pieces together with both hands. When the glue dried, the crack was difficult to see. The next morning, Marcus smiled at the finished bridge. Elena almost told him what had happened. Instead, she placed the bridge on the testing table. Mr. Bell slowly added weights to a bucket hanging below it. The first pound held. So did the second. At 3 pounds, Elena heard the same soft sound as before. Snap. The center support broke, and the bridge folded in half. The bucket hit the floor with a loud crash. Several students jumped. Someone at the back of the room laughed, although the laughter quickly stopped. Elena's face felt hot. She stared at the broken sticks on the table. Marcus looked shocked. What happened? I don't know, Elena said quietly. Mr. Bell asked the next group to prepare. Then he carried Elena and Marcus's bridge to a side table. He did not look angry. After class, I want both of you to study the break, he said. A failed test gives us useful information. Elena wanted to disappear. Their bridge had held less weight than every other bridge in the class. She was sure Mr. Bell would give them a failing grade. When the bell rang, Marcus turned the broken bridge over. He found the thick, dry glue around the split support. You knew about this, he said. Elena could not answer at first. It was difficult to admit the truth. I heard it crack yesterday, she finally said. I thought I could fix it with more glue. Why didn't you tell me? I was afraid we would have to rebuild it. Marcus pushed his chair back. We were partners. You should have told me. He left before Elena could reply. Mr. Bell had heard their conversation. He sat beside Elena and examined the bridge. I ruined the whole project, she said. You made a poor decision, he answered. That is serious, but it is not the same as ruining everything. He pointed to the broken support. What can this teach you? Elena did not want a lesson. She wanted to throw the bridge away and forget about it. Still, she looked closely. The long support had no triangles beneath its center. All the weight had pulled on one weak place. Marcus wanted to add triangles, she said. Why didn't you use his design? I thought it would take too long. Mr. Bell nodded. You also chose not to test the bridge early. Elena looked down. You cannot fix a problem that you refuse to look at, he said. Then he explained that every group would write a report about its test. Students could also improve their bridges before STEM night. The second version would not replace the first test score, but it could raise the final project grade. That evening, Elena opened her blue planner. She wanted to cross out the project and move on. Instead, she studied the photographs Marcus had taken during their work. In one picture, his first triangle design was visible under a pile of sticks. Elena sent him a message. "I should have told you what happened. I also should have listened to your idea. Will you help me build another bridge?" Marcus did not answer that night. The next morning, he stopped beside her locker. "I'm still upset," he said. "But I don't want our last bridge to be the broken one." Elena felt some of the weight leave her chest. "This time, we'll use your design." "Our design," Marcus corrected. "And we test it early." Back in the engineering room, they placed the broken bridge between them. Before doing any work, they wrote down what had gone wrong. Then they made a schedule and divided the tasks. "We need a plan before we touch the glue," Elena said. They built a small section with triangle supports. They tested each section before adding the next one. The first test bent 2 sticks, but Elena did not try to hide the damage. She marked the weak place with a red pencil and showed it to Marcus. Together they added another support. They also asked Mr. Bell to check their work. "Could you show me where I went wrong?" Elena asked when one joint kept moving. Mr. Bell demonstrated how to use less glue and give it more time to dry. Elena realized that asking for help did not make her look foolish. It helped her continue. By Friday afternoon, the new bridge was ready. It was not as neat as their first one. A few sticks were uneven, and red pencil marks were still visible. However, it felt firm in Elena's hands. At STEM night, parents and students gathered around the testing table. Elena's mother stood near the front with her phone ready. Marcus placed their bridge across the supports. Mr. Bell added weight to the bucket. 3 pounds held. Then 5. At 8 pounds, the bridge made a low sound, but it stayed in place. At 10 pounds, Mr. Bell stopped the test, and the room filled with applause. Their bridge was not the strongest one that night. 2 other bridges held more weight. Elena was surprised to discover that this did not bother her. A younger student pointed to the broken bridge, which Elena and Marcus had displayed beside the new one. "Why did you bring that one?" he asked. Elena looked at its cracked center and the hard circle of extra glue. A week earlier, she had wanted to hide it. "I learned more from the first bridge than I did from the second one," she said. On Monday, Mr. Bell returned their project report. At the top, he had written, "Good engineers do not avoid every failure. They pay attention to it. Elena placed the report in her folder. She kept the broken piece of the first bridge too. It did not feel like proof that she was bad at something. It felt like the place where she had finally started to grow. She usually checked every answer twice before turning in a test. She usually checked every answer twice before turning in a test. She usually checked every answer twice before turning in a test.
Bir sınavı teslim etmeden önce genellikle her cevabı 2 kez kontrol ederdi.
We do not have enough time to start over. We do not have enough time to start over. We do not have enough time to start over.
Baştan başlamak için yeterli zamanımız yok.
It was difficult to admit the truth. It was difficult to admit the truth. It was difficult to admit the truth.
Gerçeği kabul etmek zordu.
You cannot fix a problem that you refuse to look at. You cannot fix a problem that you refuse to look at. You cannot fix a problem that you refuse to look at.
Bakmayı reddettiğin bir sorunu düzeltemezsin.
I should have told you what happened. I should have told you what happened. I should have told you what happened.
Ne olduğunu sana söylemeliydim.
We need a plan before we touch the glue. We need a plan before we touch the glue. We need a plan before we touch the glue.
Yapıştırıcıya dokunmadan önce bir plana ihtiyacımız var.
They tested each section before adding the next one. They tested each section before adding the next one. They tested each section before adding the next one.
Bir sonraki bölümü eklemeden önce her bölümü test ettiler.
Could you show me where I went wrong? Could you show me where I went wrong? Could you show me where I went wrong?
Nerede yanlış yaptığımı bana gösterebilir misiniz?
By Friday afternoon, the new bridge was ready. By Friday afternoon, the new bridge was ready. By Friday afternoon, the new bridge was ready.
Cuma öğleden sonraya kadar yeni köprü hazırdı.
I learned more from the first bridge than I did from the second one. I learned more from the first bridge than I did from the second one. I learned more from the first bridge than I did from the second one.
İlk köprüden, ikincisinden öğrendiğimden daha fazlasını öğrendim.